So what I'm getting at is that I am going to keep on recording, but not too much. Just little milestones. Just something to introduce, launch my new ministry, and celebrate. And kwakopele, I'm going to start everything from scratch so that you guys cannot find me. It breaks my heart that I have to start a new blog, a new WordPress account, or whatever, a website. It doesn't have to be WordPress. But it hurts me that way it is that I'm going to be writing my articles, because I love that, man. I love my blog. I love my website. But I don't want any of y'all to see me. Listen, I am not going to write an article again in my WordPress account. I'm starting a new website where I'm going to be writing, because that one inale di chichiboya on it. It's got the peach fuzz of sabotage. I am going to start everything from scratch. Even, of course, if you're going to start new YouTube channels, you're going to start new email addresses and whatnot. Everything is going to be from scratch. And my first video, kwakopele, will likely be for ministry of which I never intend to monetize. But I am going to be doing other things, like I said, as I get bigger and better at teaching. I'm going to have a teaching channel, and baking in particular has always been my love. So that I'm definitely going to do, experimenting with recipes and whatnot, a cooking channel across multiple social media platforms. And that's basically, those are going to be the anticipated future streams of income that I'm going to one day have. But of course, the primary one, which is what I spoke about in my shorts towards the end, where it is that I was lamenting about leaning on social media for your revenue, it's dangerous. I said that I will never in my life ever again do that. Where it is that I will trust any, especially a video library, social media platform for money ever again, because they can just rip a carpet from underneath your feet galulanje like that. And there are also crazy saboteurs abashanyayo that are rogue in those environments that can make sure that you don't eat your bread. They can cause a man or a woman that is out here paying mortgage bond to lose a house, to be foreclosed on, because they are picking up bone or controversy in a very biased fashion with a content creator, unbeknownst to the powers that be. So first, it's the rules of social media companies themselves that are destroying the lives of content creators, but sometimes there are just rogue monsters that are operating in a criminal capacity against the better judgment of their companies doing this. And this here duo, the double-pronged risk that content creators are facing across all social media platforms, where it is that people, upon realizing that there's so much money to be made on social media, and so therefore you can destroy a person's life by simply destroying their amassed YouTube channel or their amassed Twitter account, where people, have grown audiences for themselves. They've grown a handsome followership through just blood, sweat, and tears. Like by the sweat of their brow, they grew this community. And then one day, some either rogue moderator or some rogue AI rule, some new rule that changes, some fluffy, frivolous new idea from the company itself, or some change of community guideline, then rips the carpet from underneath the feet of these people. I said in my shorts that it's becoming increasingly dangerous to lean on revenue on social media platforms, because they are ruining people's lives. They're ruining people's lives. And so therefore, the best thing a person can do is go back to the good old-fashioned days, like it's 1999, and just have a job as a teacher, have a job as a project manager, have a job as a management consultant, have a job as an engineer, and keep that job even though it bores the crap out of you, and then use social media as a pastime that will be extra income for you at best, but not your primary income. And I say that if you're going to be budgeting for children's school fees, do not budget for children's school fees from social media revenue. Budget for children's school fees from your salary as an accountant, so that when you do have so much revenue coming in from social media, that you will then feel blessed and like, oh, I've got pocket change. So you then use social media revenue to pay children's school fees, having not budgeted for it. So now you've got like extra pocket change, leg room, to walk around more freely in your apartment, because now this month you made quite a bit on YouTube. But should YouTube or Instagram or any other of these social media platforms that are untrustworthy, I told you, Twitter suspended my account. I personally cannot be anywhere. Any of these social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Okay, when they make a decision to hiccup bad, if they make a decision to have a bad day, if they make a decision to have a bad hair day, if they make a decision to wake up in the morning and have conjunctivitis and so they're calling in sick for work on your channel, you are still okay, even though you're a little bit frustrated because you hoped to go on a holiday to Thailand with that revenue, but now it looks like you're gonna have to cancel your holiday plans. But guess what? You're not taking your children out of school. I said that social media is untrustworthy now. They're arrogant, and with bodies like Ofcom, with bodies like legislations in Europe, like the Online Security Act, etc., there is just so much risk on freedom of expression that, especially newsy channels, when you're the kind of person that watches the news and then you give your take on it, they could be brought down on the basis of disinformation or whatever, or being dangerous or whatever. Listen, like, you don't know when they're just gonna like get rid of your channel altogether. You don't know when social media is one day gonna get rid of your channel altogether. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is, if you're going to have a channel, try and have one that's neutral from all different kinds of random world attack. Like, for instance, if you're teaching, you're unlikely going to have your channel brought down, but sometimes they will target you as a unique individual because they don't like your rhetoric in some other space that you're at, and so they bring down that channel. I know of a guy on YouTube. Listen, things are so dire right now. I know of a guy on YouTube who had his channel brought down, where he had a channel with his dad, and that channel was completely divorced in terms of its target market, its niche, what it's doing, from the AI channels that he had, purely because they are linked by either IP or email address or to the same content creator. Even those channels were, even that channel was demonetized. It's not an AI channel, it's a channel where he's busy out there talking about random stuff with his dad. It's completely divorced in terms of topic from the other channels that he has that are AI, and yet because of these 3 channels being linked to that channel, even that channel got demonetized. So they could just bring down your whole baking tutorial purely because they don't like what you said in your ministry or in your newsy channel or in some channel that they want to bring down for whatever reason, because they are targeting you as a human being. They're targeting you as a human being. And I mean, if that's what social media is out there doing, like whole scale execution style, just bring down content creators, you gotta go back and teach, don't you see? You have to go back and be a project manager, don't you see? You have to go back and be a mechanic again, don't you see? You have to go back to your 9 to 5 that keeps you alive as boring, but the Lord never ever intended for us to have a jolly time on the job. After all, it was a judgment that from now on will work by the sweat of our brow. So boring jobs, listen, we understand. Everybody goes through nonsense over there, but it pays the bills. It pays the bills. Go back to your boring jobs, especially within Christendom. I was lamenting, y'all are even tempted to sin against God just to keep your channels going. You're tempted to sign deals with crazy little gnarly organizations of a secretive nature. Like, proper. That is idolatry. Make like King Josiah and burn down those Asherah poles, bring them low, and go back to your 9 to 5, though you might be bored and though it might not be paying you as lucratively as YouTube, but at least you are an independent young man or young woman or older man or older woman that is able to pay their way. And you are not having to tiptoe around the what is it? Like, you just the word that I'm looking for here is not so much frivolous, but you know when you just pull out a post, like meandering with your mood swings, like untrustworthy, just flaccid disposition of a social media platform that can change its mind about loving you today versus yesterday. Like, the mood swings and the temper tantrums that social media throws on creators are not worth it anymore. People need to go back to being teachers. Like, yo, just people need to eat. People need to eat. Yeah, people need to eat. And social media was once upon a time where you could be getting a big burger out of that. Not anymore. You don't know who they're coming for tomorrow. They could bring down your whole entire dance channel purely because in another channel where you make commentary on the news, they don't like what you say. If at all you're going to be dealing with a mark of the beast type crazy mongrel of a social media attitude like that, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. So I am going to have a primary job as a teacher. Is that basic? And the salaries, I have not done too much research, but I do understand that they're quite good. Like, teaching in other countries, unlike in South Africa, is quite lucrative. Whereas in South Africa, it's just like, don't nobody care. And there are so very many other things that you can also do. There are so many addendums that you can add on to it. Like your primary job, you know how teachers knock off with children at like 2 p.m.? They finish earlier than everybody else. You could then also decide to teach online over and above, like take 2 or 3 online lessons from home before 6 p.m. to fill up your like 8 hours. Do you understand what I'm saying? And make extra income that way. So you've got like you teach online and you also teach going to an actual school every day or going to an actual training center every single day. So you've got a set salary, and then you also create for yourself regulars on an online teaching platform. There are so many ways. And then of course there are the avenues that you have to train the trainer. You can apply to be, as you grow from grace to grace, a TEFL teacher traveling across the world teaching other TEFL tutors to teach. So basically getting a certificate to teach other teachers that I intend to get as well. So for that, you can travel across the world. You can go everywhere and teach teachers to teach. Pretty much like what the trainer that taught us the 10-hour classroom etiquette, the Go Southern Sun Hotel, something like that. It's a part-time gig for her. It's not a full-time thing. Every 2 or 3 weekends or every third weekend, she teaches that course and of course gets paid for it. You can do freelance work like that. There are so many opportunities that can be opened to you. The grander you grow, the better you get at doing what you do, the better you market yourself and whatnot. And of course, I intend to be out of rubbing shoulders with some people so I could travel overseas in Jefela just to go and teach teachers how to teach. And that's something that I think I'm really greatly gonna enjoy. I might even come here to South Africa. I don't like the country, but it also has got TEFL centers where they train trainers. I could come here for a brief season and train trainers and then leave again and go to my primary country, because listen, South Africa has ceased to be my domicile land. Like, listen, that's it. We're done here. It's giving severance. Goodbye. Yeah. Like Fiona, you're the weakest link. Goodbye. So there are plenty of opportunities open for me, and I'm also quite innovative. And like I said, I'm getting chunks of ideas from YouTubers that teach. I love what they do, and I'm out just seeing myself in them. I'm out just looking up to them like they're role models or whatever. And so in the future, I intend Nami to teach. And yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. I also want to teach people business etiquette. Though people kicked me out of corporate South Africa, I'm an excellent corporate here nonetheless. I intend to do stuff like that, come up with little course packs where I'm training people basically how to be Joe, how to act, how to be the best person you can be. So all the skills that I acquired in my early life, I can actually impart them. I can write my own course material if I in myself am a certified teacher. So listen, we've got a future. We've got a future. And that's going to be my primary source of income. And anything that I try to make from social media, I will always be regarded as a side hustle. Even if it's more lucrative than my day job, it will always be regarded as a side hustle. I'm only ever going to budget for everything in my life, like rental, like paying for a car. I said that I have to have a car. I cannot be for the rest of my life. I'll just be driving. Not driving, sorry, but getting on a bus or a metro or a train or whatever. I need my own car. So ultimately, I'm going to convert my South African driver's license to a Korean one, and then maybe wherever it is that I'm going, so that I can have a car, even if it's rented for a couple of months. Because listen, me and public transport, maybe I've got PTSD from the South African public transporting system. I don't know, but I have to have my own car. Okay, so vehicle expenses, petrol, and also home expenses. Where I live, I love to decorate. My living space is my heaven on earth. Do you understand? So decor expenses for little trinkets, little not bean bags, but scatter cushions and bed linen and whatnot. Expenses to basically just live, groceries. That is going to come off my salary as a teacher. That's going to come off my salary. And things like leisurely activities, like things, extracurricular stuff, that's what I'm going to use my revenue that is made from any social media platform. I'm going to use that for that, because I don't trust. Listen, I've endured years of trauma at the hands of merciless social media, rogue personnel right next to their own crazy rules that they change like it's underway, like from Tuesday to Monday, from Tuesday to Wednesday type establishment thing. So because I don't trust social media anymore, I will never ever allow myself to lean on its salaries. I will never allow myself to lean on its salaries. I will never allow myself to lean on its salaries, but I will certainly feel nice and blessed and chuffed when they do come in. Hey, one content creator I was listening to, the way that the situation is so dire with social media and what they're doing to content creators, as if though we are not your employees, as if though we're not the reason you're thriving, YouTube. Mamela, I found out that this one guy said that, okay, so they demonetized his AI channel. A brother in Christ, his channel is Scriptures Illustrated, right? They demonetized his YouTube channel. He finally got it back because he put a whole bunch of himself in there and appealed. But people have to try and get their channels back by going on Twitter and whatnot, on X, blah blah blah, and screaming on a rooftop so that they can actually get looked at by a human being, because robots are even denying appeals. But anyway, one guy said that when they demonetized him, no, this was not my brother in Christ, it was some other guy, right? One guy was demonetized, and he said that even the revenue that he had made up to a certain point that he was supposed to get paid at the next pay cycle, he lost even that. It's like, how can I describe the unfair business practices of YouTube at this particular juncture? If you have worked in corporate South Africa, like I have worked before, where a contract ended or I quit a job, but I had worked up to the end of the month. I quit a job in the middle of the month, but the pay cycle was at the end of the month. When they pay you was at like on the 25th or on the 30th or whatever. But I worked up until perhaps like the 7th of that month. and then that was my last day, right? What would be done over there is that you would get, in South African law, you would get paid for up to the 7th day that you worked. Pro rata. You would get a prorated salary, and you would also get, if you were a permanent employee, your leave days paid out. That's how it goes, because they were yours to take, but you didn't take them. So you get paid for your leave days, and you also get paid for all the days that you worked pro rata. What YouTube is doing is like denying people their leave days. Not that, okay, so you don't get leave days on YouTube, but I'm using an example, but it would be like, as at the date that you quit your job, seeing as you quit your job in the month of August, you're getting nothing for all of August, even though you worked up to the 7th of August. So they're basically just keeping work that you actually did worth of revenue to themselves, purely because they demonetized you. So they don't even pay you for up to what date that they decide to demonetize you. If they demonetize you on the 27th, if they demonetized you on the 27th of a month, they owe you revenue up to the 27th, and then everything else going forward that you post on your channel will be 0 rated. No, you should be out of taking all your money from the 1st to the 27th. It's just unscrupulous and unfair business practices. This new CEO, Wako YouTube, I don't know what's going on with him. But a whole bunch of like boulders have been falling on content creators ever since he came into power, and he made people believe that investing in AI would basically secure their future in YouTube, and then he goes and he unleashes just a ball of fire on AI content creators after himself doing a speech speaking about how it is that the future of YouTube is AI. That encouraged content creators to get like drill into AI, and then he just demonetizes them. What the heck? Based on freaking out because of what they call AI slop. Based on freaking out because of what they call AI slop, right? And who's freaking out? It is the advertisers saying we don't want to put our adverts on AI slop. Except some of my most biggest and baddest admonition, some of my most edifying content that I watch is from AI channels that expand on Bible stories. And these channels get hundreds of views, thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. As an advertiser, my question is this: is it not enough for people to merely look at your advert and perhaps linger on it up until the end? If anything, I found the TEFL Academy through an ad. I clicked on them while I was watching an AI channel on YouTube speaking about the book of Nahum or whatever. So TEFL got a client through an AI channel, and yet these are the very channels that are being demonetized. So if advertisers are out just saying to YouTube, we don't want our stuff on AI slop, what exactly makes for AI slop? And even then, what's it to you if at all a viewer watching some weird AI video to the end happens upon your advert for face care, for a face wash, and then clicks on it and then goes to the store and buys that face wash? You have won a customer from what you call AI slop. I don't know why advertisers are of the imagination that all these people creating as many videos as they want to create online, I don't know why for the life of them they're of the imagination that they're not worthwhile viewers. For me, it's this: if at all, there are plenty of people that click on your advert, even coming from channels that you think are just trash AI slop. Bottom line is, as an advertiser, you want a customer. So I don't even know what's the rationale behind hating AI slop. I don't even know what the rationale is, because if it increases if it increases advertisers' revenue for their products, why are you picking a controversy with the fact that it came as a result of a Minecraft video? What's it to you? I can't find the rationale. I don't understand it. And so because the rationale makes no sense to me, something tells me it is there's a much more nefarious reason behind why they're doing this. Because people will click on a video, an advert from anywhere. People, insofar as that particular video has got hundreds of thousands of views or whatever, people will click on that advert from anywhere, even if it's what an advertiser has no respect for. Bottom line is, they are buying your product having found it in an AI slop video. It does not make sense to me why allegedly AI slop is responsible for the demonetization of so very many AI channels. So I concluded in my shorts that the reason why they're doing this to AI channels is because AI enables people to hide their faces, to be faceless, and facelessness is the bane of a megalomaniacal despotic regime's existence. Facelessness is the bane of a social security system's existence. The Chinese social security system can only function, operate, and do what it does because it recognizes people's faces. And if people come on social media in their volumes, in their numbers, and are faceless, you're not going to know who is behind that. And so the people that you're trying to persecute as a result of their faces being available for everybody to see, you're not going to be able to know that it's them. I feel as if though what they did in coming at AI channels, especially faceless ones, I feel as if though the core reason behind why they're doing this to content creators is to force everybody to show themselves who they are, to identify themselves. It's giving Mark of the Beast. It's got a 666 sort of kind of, nuance to it in the back end over there. That's all that I could conclude. It is a form of control. It is a form of ascertaining that you know where everybody is at. It is something that what do you call this, used by these mongrel-esque, most beastly bomb blasts in order to know exactly who is behind every last channel on social media. Because their rationale that they're doing this because AI Slop is misrepresenting them as a company. They don't want to be associated or affiliated in their adverts. They don't want to be associated or affiliated in their ads that they're running with this kind of content. What's it to you if it causes people to be driven to your product? If it drives your revenue, if it drives your sales, if it reaches targets in your models, in your financial models, what's it to you if a person found you through AI Slop? Listen, do you see what I'm getting at? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense here is that they want to see people's faces. So they have a whole scale just demonetized everyone in order to force people to show themselves. And that happened with one guy, a Christian man. In Scriptures Illustrated, that channel, he used to do AI from beginning to end, heavy edits. Now he's adding his face and he's narrating with his face every so often in the videos, and they brought him back. They brought his channel back. It's a surveillance of society. Manje, a space like that gotta know who you are. It says that in the future they're planning to harass you because of who you are. So you can't trust it. You can't trust, social media. You can't trust social media to pay your rent. All that you can do over there is rock up, dance, have people think you're cool when you're doing some weird, ASMR video, but do not let it be that which pays your rental. Otherwise, I promise you, you will get social media mental illness. You will be foreclosed on and lose a car. You will lose a car and a house and have to take children out of school and have to end yourself, deregister from universities because they demonetize your channel. What the heck? Social media is no longer trustworthy. It's out making like mama. It's acting like the Mark of the Beast. It's walking around like it's freaking Thor or whatever, and it's lifting a hammer, the hammer of which is your money. No. But then again, it's up to you. Very soon, social content creators are about to be moving back to mama's houses, I'm telling you now. Content creators are going to move back to the garages of their parents' houses very soon. In order they were living very, very la vida loca, lucrative careers. Unless they were smart with the monies that they made earlier and invested, and now I'm earning investment income. Content creators are about to find themselves moving back home to mama, having had a season of so much prosperity on these platforms. Use them, indeed, like I said, in my content at your leisure, because we need to interact with each other, and they have made it possible for us, these media empires, for us to see each other from different countries. So now we have got training of different cultures. We know different people. We are able to, rub shoulders with people of different cultures very easily now, thanks to them. But more than just us getting to handshake and know each other from when you're from Prague and another is from Czechoslovakia, more than that, really and truly, listen, don't be out investing too much of yourself in it, because it's going to rip a carpet from underneath your feet. YouTube is too much of a monopoly to be trusted as your only source of income, or as your biggest source of income. Not everybody wants to be a member of the Illuminati or whatever, okay? So unless you sign a deal with them, you can't get anywhere, whatever. But I digressed. The point that I'm making over here is that there is something nasty, gnarly, and most beastly going on with social media, and I personally have been a victim of it for a little minute too long, for much too long. And I now have got an option to have work that is thriving and viable as a creative without having to need social media tools. And the fact that I have now got PTSD with social media is in itself erroneous and problematic. Nonetheless, not something that YouTube is in itself diagnosing as a potential business risk, because they're shoving this down people's throats. And not just YouTube, across all other social media platforms. People are obviously losing trust, but they obviously don't care, because when you lose trust as a monopoly, because you're a monopoly, you don't care. But you see, that's how kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall. That's how kingdoms fall. That's how structures ultimately fall. When you take for granted the very people that made you who you are today, you start to fall apart, even if it takes one brick at a time, being dismembered from your whole structure. After several years, the whole structure falls to the ground, splat, it's rubble. But before it became rubble, it was a whole coliseum out here housing gladiator matches with people fighting to the death. You never ever thought that the Colosseum would ever be reduced to what architectural marvel it is today. However, it's a relic, and it's like a museum site now. You never thought that it would end up being that, but it is. That's how structures fall. That's how Rome falls. That's how kingdoms fall. That's how businesses fall. That's how companies ultimately come up falling short and getting liquidated. Nyahamba from South Africa. This is my last video on this channel. I will never post ever again on this channel, and in so never posting here again, I will be relieved over time. Of course, in the beginning, I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of boomerang spells, sex spells, death spells, mara, it's gonna get a little expensive to continue to invest in sorcery when the target that you are bewitching, you can't even see how your sorcery is giving, how it's taking. This is the end of the road for me and YouTube South Africa. Is the end of the road for me and YouTube South Africa, and is the end of the road for me and South Africa, period. I'm done with this deadbeat fecal matter country. We're leaving. I am never gonna post here ever again. Never again am I going to get pursued. But it's only a matter of time. There are salivating beasts full of lust that think they're gonna ram into me one day. This country will never ever see me again talking from its own shores. They'll only ever know me as a person from this country originally, but I'm in the diaspora. I will never post a single video ever again from the shores of South Africa. I'm telling you right this minute. You are gonna do witchcraft to try and block it because it's all you can do. You be out there inhaling the steam of trash all the day long. Not even for a split second. So for those reasons, go on, do you. Little monsters in your little circus, full of cauldrons and full of smoke and steam. Go on and do what you love doing over there, but what you're doing is never going to take me the give. You're not going to bring down my airplane into the ocean. Neither are you going to prevent me from even boarding that flight, but you're going to try. You're going to fly like a little witch in some braid because you be out there doing stuff like that at your leisure all the way up until I'm in another country. But the thing that I have comfort in is the fact that no longer am I going to be paraded thanks to the works of a most measly beastly whore before some of the most worthless men in the country. I am never going to be paraded in front of these men ever again. And this time I am content to not have anywhere to post because I've got an alternative, I've got options, I've got somewhere else to be. I have got another idea. I have got something else that I can focus my energies on. So therefore, I am no longer at the merciless mercy of subjugating freaks that thinks that I am their little servant. I am their little fellatio-giving handled girl. That I am some skokwane of a woman that has got too many ambitions for someone her age. That level of disrespect, that level of vitriol, take it with your ugly president that's out here chilling on a king's chair. Angafuna. Anza ibinela South Africa. I'm not going. Since I've been bajwano because God took his pipes. Keep your country and keep all that which it does to its citizens. But as for me and my house, we're leaving. Yeah, you will never ever again, South Africa. I'm telling you now, this is my final video. You will never see me again talking in your country. Going forward, I'm going to study Kitlofetsa. And I'm going to work like a dog to get out of the country. I will never post another video after this one ever again in South Africa. This is the end. Ever again. I will never post another video ever again from the borders of this country. Watch this space. And you know, because last time, my other ministries, when I was like, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. They were shocked, gobsmacked, because they figured they can just bring me back. They can bring me back up, bring back Los Lavayabon. They told themselves all they need to do is lawyer and Jeffela a little bit more. Just hang in more extra. And I'll be back. And well, it's been like, what, 2 years since Kitulera. So I'll never post again here. Understand, I'm never posting again here. But to try and bring me back. I'm telling you, to try and bring me back. You're gonna do that which you do, predictably. Because you those guys. But I am going to do that which I also predictably do. When I say I'm done, I'm done. I'm door slamming. And I have proven that I door slam well. I have proven that when I say it's over, it's over. I have shown you that when I've made a decision, it sticks. I'm not all talk and no action, baby. I effect a mandate. I effect a structure, a determination. And I run with it. This is the end of the road for me and South Africa. We are done. This is my last video. I had to do this closure video. So that halele busy ntsele matha mo mafielong ntsele fofa mafielong le fofa marotong ntsele sprinkler di pepere mo go dula di mo go dima di lono tsa batho di gardening tsa bona ntsele le busy le shapa basadi ka di bring back los lava ka di korobela ntsele le busy le batla go rape basadi kankane go banka ba etsa basadi ba sa le batle ntsele le kula ka di STD tsa 20 ntsele le busy le tsebe hore you gonna be investing money in Jeffela into sunken costs le tlabe le consult di sangoma wetsa ntwe that you know deep down inside from within your core le tseba. The reason why I did an outro because I was planning on just poster. But I made a decision where it's like this outro, adding it to my 14-part series, and now I've got either 15 or 16 parts because I don't know how long I've been talking here. So this could either be 2 hours or 1 hour. I don't know. Man, this here last outro, I made a decision to do it for no other reason but to make it really nice and hard. Do you understand? For you to go to a sangoma to try and bring me back, to try and marry me, to try and see if you can't do something else, cogitate, planning and scheming. Ke batla ntle fela se la ntsha di 10,000 tsa lona. Ha le ya le kena sefofane, ha le palama difofane. Le ya go Ghana, le lo bona nana kwa ku. Ha le busy le ntse le ya go Malawi lo la tsa Sandawana. Highly busy if you can't find another ritualist to do ABC. At the back of your brains, or she says she's not coming back. That it might be evident and clear and stark, gawking at you, yawning like a cute baby. That agazobuya mina ngispendi imali ngayimosh. Until nize nigcina ni panchits, like a slow release of air from the tire. Like flat to a point where you can't drive on it anymore. Nifuna ukuthi ngipanche like that. Nyazi ukuthi you're gonna keep on pressing forward. You're gonna keep on pushing. But at some point it's gonna be evident ukuthi anizowina. So lo pancha slowly, like le tire lenang di pin molon, a nail. It's gonna be slow burn. It's gonna be a slow puncture. Every week I feed that until a lawyer. It's gonna be a slow burn. Every week, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. It's not until a lawyer, but it's gonna be a slow burn. A slow deterioration, a slow withering away, a slow overnight aging. That oxymoron, apply it. It's going to be slow and devastating. And when you finally realize, I get a little mentally spend lady 25,000 rand down. Lo khutla mo sa buy. Lo etsa karabo nkare se dom jane se ba se bitsang nandi pha makutumane. Antsa le busy a bail out nja, a thusa escape ya nja ko jail, thinking that you're going to go and grab the smartest women in the country and make them bail freaks out of lives of crime. Yeah, when you're still busy plotting such futures for women like me. Yeah, hanyane moya o tlotsa le daring la no hanyane. And I go fitle 4 months o keta o spend maybe 40,000 10,000 rands a month on witchcraft. It'll start to become clear that kissing a chalet, maybe your sobriety will return to you. And then suddenly push like the guy go America unanza o pusha it's a one last spell through a sorcerer go Jamaica o wagai o kenangadi because o bono re kissing a chalet. I wasted money. I got nothing in return for all my spells. The guy in the US, congratulate, hallelujah, praise heaven, praise the Lord. I shook him. So I'm gonna shake you. Do me nja. When now I'm gonna shake you, freak. When I lay mugwanti wa khonzo le na saruri. Despite the every time I had from underneath you wine wire. Angele office go fell. I'm gonna shake you all. I am going to shake you. The long Zamaga death rituals. The long Zamaga come back. The long Zamaga Aurikibon Gayatan. The long Zamaga Erikimos and lady emails. The people from my old ministry. A few months after I left, some of them sent me emails. I ignored them. Flat out. I just ignored them. So some of y'all might even have the brazen audacity to actually write me an email. I'm gonna shake you. And I don't know how long it's gonna take to shake you. Mara, after a couple of months have progressed, to the last of you will finally fall off me. And maybe you might even be brave enough to go and do that beautiful thing I've been asking you to do all this time. Commit suicide. Maybe they try to Mara, this is the end. And then it's like, tuta hape banane. Klika mo YouTube mouse anyway. Just grab a mouse and just click. And then how could that click? Lona ba go klika. Le lo thola di mouse click. How could that click about to hara sa motho ka ditlhago sa motse. Mara mo planets or one day o tlo kopana le ena. One day o tlo mo isa go dinner date ko Santa. A woman on the freaking internet that you have never for the life of you ever met. When I'm busy wa klika o sa motse belo motse ba so mo loile cause wa tseba hore at some point I'll get slide mo di DMing tsa haya wena mo mutli At some point after sliding into that woman's DMs, you're going to take her on a date. Obomo lawyer omojesa omokinye STD. Omongele mpaya haika ofela o lo thola ka yena. Motho teng una iketsa video fela mo Instagram e bora. Mara wena wa klika mo teng. Le tla ithuta go se click. Because the thing about clicking on people is that habako jarateng ya hao, they're not in your complex. They're not at the mall where you're going to go shop for bread. They're not mostrateng in traffic where you can hoot at a lady walking. No, my baby, bako interneting. So all that it takes for them to escape you is to just disappear. All that it takes is for them to not post anymore. Also, from Instagram. All she needs to do to escape you is to not post for 4 months. Then you will realize that, listen, I spent 3,500 rand on a spell to get a chick that paraded herself in front of me by cooking a meal on Instagram. Your mental illness. You will finally realize just how mentally ill you are. You will finally discover 25,000 rand salary how go fail o gonna palame ke le di fofane or di kepe we are to a foreign country o lo thola a very advanced high priest or high priestess o lo ya this thing you've only ever seen them on the internet. You've only ever seen them met them online. For you to go and abuse a person that you can't even locate the address of. How gonna get lomo stalker by making like Michael E. Limota Sampeto wasana Nathan come that movie The Perfect Guy. How gonna lo ba mota Sampeto how lo tsa uswa teng we get a lisilo muntu making like a poltergeist close in proximity. That you are in the yard of no haliko jarateng boys. Ninga pandinga la paya. And you are looking at people on social media based on your investor. If 40,000 rands yonke witchcraft engaga. Imali engaka. Salary abanye abantu leyo. Yo lo thola msadi. It's like 2,000 di spender di 50,000 di 40,000 di 25,000. mo ditlhareng over batho ba le clickileng fela katla on social media. Nizosifundisa zinsha le tla ithuta go seka abuse basadi ba leng single le ntse le nyetse ka ditlha on sa mama na ketjung enkana ha o keta mo botlotsa mosadi wa habo batho look like she's a freaking home wrecker o molatile ka nkane ka dijeresi wa mogoga ka ditlha wa mogoga ka ditlha ha o keta mo botlo khoza mosadi wa hao ga lo mo nqaphela a re she's a home wrecker kanti o boentse ngwana batho dizzy ka ditlha nizozifundisa zinsha to stop clicking. Le tla ithuta go tlogela ho clicka you licentious beasts ezigalayo engenenge ento endlayo la on social media. Nizozifundisa to stop clicking. Because look at the woman that you clicked on for years. She's not going to be found on social media for maybe a year from this point. The 40,000 na yo fell like the 60,000, the 100,000 lon. Chalta lona ngata. Yo we like chalta lona ngata yo we like mo koting ofeng. Cause certainly the hour somewhere mo koting indeed. Le tla ithuta ke for osi le bontate. Nizozifundisa to stop bewitching people based on social media stuff. Le tla ithuta Oba so ba realize gore bana ga bana maleri wena o busy mmeto o ntse o patala disangoma gore dilolo ya motho mo interneteng bana ba sna maleri le tla ithuta go reka maleri instead of boloi la nkutlo le tla ithuta go reka maleri instead of boloi. And then on that day ke tla ba that archetype, that model of what to avoid as a witch. Stop bewitching people on social media because one day they just go poof and then go out there in the wilderness, and when they come back they've married their husbands. They're already brides. Lona ba batlang 10:47. I might even come back ke na le ring on my finger. Le tla be le sa bona all that. You would have leaned on getting information on social media. Next time I come back, I might be 7 months pregnant. Next time I come back, I might be 5 months pregnant. Newlywed with my husband. Baby conceived on wedding night. Hey, I was trying to block lenyalo. On the way, on that day, loyang he. Miscarry. I actually like tuta hosika lawyer about based on social media stuff, eh? Let's like tuta hosika pate batu. Moara mikoting, Lena Noreba Pati Level, Kadisango Masako make. Let's like tuta. Hotompa Tabao. Mudimo una strategy that is above that which are your strategies. Let's like tuta hosika lawyer about Lesabazi. Let's like tuta hoska nahanahore. Because of social media, you are like God and so are omniscient. You know everything and you're also omnipresent because thanks to social media, you can follow Garabo everywhere. Let's like tuta. Just the fact that you're a little vulnerable, you're a little weird, anomalous, strange syndicate leaned on seeing a person in order to keep on bewitching them. How much anya made and develop on social media? Kio 50,000 go fed and toileting flushed gone. Let's like tuta hoska lawyer batch. Just cause you trust to guti bazo post a futik sasa and the next day. I will always post on social media. But I'm going to disappear for no other reason. But I'm not going to parade myself in front of beasts that feel entitled to me, that are being helped by a saboteur of prolific whore proportions on my chest. Mugwanti walona wako YouTube is responsible for why my life looks like this one woman subjugated another woman to the tyranny of a litany, a cornucopia of devastatingly worthless men. And all it took was for me to get delivered by God, to have a career away from social media, and for me to just essentially transition over to another space without this little whore having any power to pin me down under all of your ugly. All it took was for me keeping quiet only briefly, only seasonally. I would never ever counsel people to walk away from social media because you're not going to take away from us as a global citizenship, affiliation with each other, us succeeding to meet people in India, us succeeding to meet people in Yemen, us succeeding to meet people in Angola, us succeeding to meet people in Brazil, purely because we are interactive on social media. You're not going to rob the world from all that camaraderie because you are monsters. What the world needs to do is give their lives to God, that they might not be subjugated to the tyranny of malevolent structures that are capitalizing on how interconnected we now all are and how our lives are so much more transparent before all now thanks to social media. You're not going to make me hide myself under a rock, that I might be isolated in one little country on a globe where everybody is so interconnected. I'm not going to hide under a rock. What is important to understand by people is that flare your peacock feathers at your leisure on social media, but make sure you got God, because then on that day, little creepazoids, because indeed, the more interconnected we are, the higher the risk of meeting freakazoids now from other countries, let alone the ones in your own nation. So self-awareness and self-protection is important, but hiding yourself and cocooning yourself from the world is not the situation. It is not the answer. It is not that which we ought be gazing at. I don't want the world to not know me, because I am going to exploit social media platforms here on earth that I might know various cornucopia of other nationalities here in these streets. I want to know people from other countries. You're not going to be the reason why I don't know anyone from other countries, but you're going to be an expressly communicated warning, gevaar, waarschuwen to the world. as to what to watch out for. If you're going to decide to put any facet of yourself on social media, look out for these things. That's the voice that I am. And when I finally succeed to move, and so therefore lodge myself beautifully in South Korea, that'll be among the things that I share in my ministry and the admonitions that I will give to online personalities. Protect yourself from these beasts, because listen, they're many, but you're not going to block yourself from going to school now, are you? Every day. Or work now, are you? Every day, purely because in the neighborhood there is a known rapist, purely because in the neighborhood there is a guy that is castigating people on the street and afflicting them, taking their wallets. You're not gonna not go to school, and you're also not gonna not go to work because of that threat, that real threat in the community. You're not gonna avoid school, work, or any other thing that you do daily, going to the store to go buy bread because the news have shared that there is a serial killer in the neighborhood. What you're gonna do is put up more enforcements, more reinforcements for your protection and your security. So rather than walk to the store, this time around you will drive there, because then in your car you're much safer than when you're walking. Children will walk in groups and with a chaperone, because serial killers tend to be scared of groups. They only target one person. Essentially, you come up with reinforcements to make sure that you're safe first, so as to eradicate the possibility of being the victim of the local serial killer until such time that he can be apprehended. But you don't avoid going to the store, and you also don't avoid going to school. You only put up reinforcements. So ours is not to avoid posting on social media. It is to put up reinforcements, and the reinforcements that I am advocating for, that I'm trying to get the world to understand are the only way out, is God, Jesus, prayerfulness, recognition of what's lurking out there. It's hectic. It's giving Ted Bundy all the day long. But there are ways to elude Ted Bundy. You just need to be self-aware, and in yourself warn other people. Amadota as snacks have been a thing, guys, all throughout history. Amadota akhalela bantwana. Amadota akhalela abo cherry women, men that look at you once and are already fantasizing about ramming into you. Abantu abakuplanela AIDS ngoba bakwatela. Mabaningi, guys. People who plot and scheme, they've been there. The world is evil. It's fallen. After Adam and Eve fell, that became a thing. Cain is always going to be a threat, but yours is not to incubate yourself, isolate yourself, and put yourself like a hermit in a shell. Yours is to be wary. Be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, prances around like a roaring lion, seeking whomever he may devour. Some little gnarly beast at YouTube, some stupid whore, placed me paraded before. I'm a red light district prostitute. Some of the most licentious men in the country, just like it. And for 4 years, the first 2, it was the guy from the US. The last 2, it's been Dumi and Co. Cults. Because of that woman, my life was endangered for, listen, half a decade. I mean, do you see how unacceptable these freaking rogue monsters as social media platforms are? That's why, Kere, whatever you do in your space, wherever you find yourself, make sure that you try to get a job in your local community, work in your local corporates, or open a hot dog stand to pay rent, and let social media be just a creative outlet let loose. Let it be a creative outlet and a creative let loose, but do not make it a career, because then on that day you're going to be incarcerated by freaking megalomaniacal beasts of the earth that think they control us all. Sell your hot dogs, have a bakery stand, go to the farmer's market and sell some cinnamon rolls every Sunday. But for the life of you, do not lean on YouTube revenue. You will die eventually. That's all that I'm saying here. Not only will you die, but every so often you might be subjugated to the tyranny of a rogue whore that's going to unleash 20 men on you that are all going to think you're their wife. That's all that I'm here to tell you. This is my last video. All the best. May the best, you know, I'd like the Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor. All the best. Those are y'all that are going to go back to your drawing boards. Do me honor. Hey, you see the headaches that I was speaking about? I had a vision of him anzatrapa something. A whip. Like just beating a bat or a whip. Some kind of device. Like paraphernalia. He was just like, bah, and this thing represented me. The way as a result of my last videos. And that's why I've had a headache for like 3 days. All that I got is a headache. For like a grandpa. That's the ritual that this man does based on something that someone said on the internet machine. Do you not see now that you need God? Do you not see now that if Indota is gonna think by hitting something with a bat in a ritual, he believes it. What the heck? Like, y'all need Jesus. They did spells for me to forget my dreams. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I guess I thought poster. So the doesn't matter, because for a good couple of months to a year, I'm not going to be posting anymore. So make me forget. It's fine. I don't care. I don't need to remember, because I'm not recording anymore. Yeah, South Africa, this is the end of the road. And all I gotta say is shame on you, sis. Shame on you, sis, as a country, like as a concert. Shame on you, sis. Keep your little cesspool, your dung heap of rubble. Keep your country embodiling, man. And keep every last one of your leaders that are holding on to power, even though no one likes them anymore. Keep your country. I will be watching you from the diaspora, just wagging my head as I've been wagging my head from already inside the country. I was like, I was here. where this country's concerned for years. Now I'm going to be doing that from the diaspora. I'm going to watch the circus from the diaspora. All the best. And like Effie Tinkett in the Hunger Games, South Africans, may the odds be ever truly in your favor. That's all I gotta say. May the odds be truly in your favor. Because you all are in the Hunger Games in this country. That's all that you are. You are at the mercy of ritualists. You were warned. But as for me and my house, we're extracting. We're leaving. You've been judged. I'm locked in Sodom. I am locked in Sodom. Me and my family are leaving, following which there is about to be fire and brimstone landing on you. This is the end of the road for me and South Africa. Believe it or not, it's happening, my darlings. I might not yet be a teacher, but I am already a teacher. I can feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. I feel it in my bones. I'm looking forward to my future. I'm looking forward to my new career. I'm looking forward to my new endeavors. And I am not looking forward to whatever under heaven it is that is going to be the unraveling of your ugly little country going forward. Keep your witchcraft state. Run with it, a man. In your backyard. Tswelang pele ntse le senya your own nation. Tswelang pele ntse le tsubisa batho. Satane, basadikeng. Tswelang pele ntse le nka bazalwane, le ba foster hore ba lo loya. Tswelang pele ntse le batla ho rape basadi, le ntse le batla kankane ho lo nyala bazalwane le sa tsebe Jesu. Tswelang pele ka ho nna ntse le trapa batho in rituals hoping hore la batla pa ka manne. Tswelang pele. But as for me and my house, this is it, okay? We're done. You're not gonna ever see me again unless my video is recommended to you, miraculously popping into your feed. Where it is that I am posting from, yes, another country. The country of which, watch the space, is South Korea. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Kran K. Peace. Bye-bye.